Hey everybody, it's DIY Coach Al over here at Lawn Care and Home Repair. And guys, ever since we've been in this house about 4 years now, the wife has constantly been complaining about this wall, but especially this towel over here. She said, baby, we got to get rid of that. We got to take it from, I don't know, maybe 2000, bring it up to 2025. So y'all know how I do it over here. When the wife says she needs something done, it's my job to just get it done. Guys, guess what I'm getting ready to do? I'm getting ready to turn this wall right here
into this right here.
All right, babe, you know, I ain't got no problem with doing it for you, but you know it's one thing you got to say to me before I do it, right?
What?
You know what it is.
Cue the music.
All right, boo, you got it. Let's get this done, y'all. Hey guys, hey, this is your DIY at home care and what am I? Lawn care and home repair. I'm also your friendly neighborhood therapist, so I get those titles mixed up sometimes. So DIY Coach Al over here. So we are going to be doing this project. We have this old looking tile down here. We've been here for 4 years now, so it's just time to get rid of that towel. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to take this TV off the wall, and Tanisha got to come over here and say hi. That's Tanisha, guys. Wayne Scotty with Tanisha. Make sure you go back and look at that video. Okay, so we're going to take this TV off. We'll take this shelf off, mantelpiece. I don't know what you call it these days. Knock this tile out here and down on the floor. Now this is a gas fireplace. We're not going to be doing any drilling, so we don't have to worry about hitting the gas line or anything like that. And because we're not keeping this shelf, we are going to be destroying. And guys, if you know anything about me, I love to tear stuff up. So I get to use my power tools. Oh, yeah, okay. So we're going to come back and we're going to knock all this out. That was Chrissy Gardner just came in while I was shooting the video. All righty, so we're going to knock all this out. We're going to take this down. Tanisha is a neighbor. I do things in the community. You know, if somebody can't afford to get something done, we'll just go over and do it for them. Met Tanisha when I was working on another project, and Tanisha said, hey, anytime you're doing something, let me know, because she wants to learn how to do it. So she's over here helping. So Tanisha is going to be using the impact wrench. I may let her use that SDS rotary hammer. Not quite sure yet, but we will see what happens as we go along. And we're going to take all this stuff up. Now, because we're not keeping any of this, we're not going to keep this trim. We're not going to keep this shelf. But down around on the floor is what's called quarter round. And that's the stuff when you lay your towel down and you get it up against the wall. The quarter round is that finishing trim piece. So we're going to try not to damage this quarter round. So I'm going to put you guys on hold, or just take a break right here. We're going to come back and we're going to see if Tanisha can use that 1/2 inch impact drill. Okay, we'll see what she got, okay? Be right back. All right, so we're going to have Tanisha now take our 1/2 inch impact driver, and Tanisha's going to put it right there on the screws. Make sure we have the right piece, right bit, and just a second, want to make sure we push it over to the left so it's in reverse, and then you just squeeze. You have to hold it tight down because it's, there you go, squeeze the handle. There you go. Keep going, just keep squeezing. Oh yeah, is it the wrong way? No, hit it back. There you go, right? There you go. Just keep on going. See, Tanisha likes it. Okay. Yeah. Tear stuff up. Okay. Yep. You get all 4 of them. There we go. And then we're going to come around this side and get the other 2. Now, Tanisha, before you start, I just want to explain something. You know, you could go ahead and put it on there. Whenever you're doing drilling, you have to make sure you're holding it tight, because what can happen is that you can have what's called kickback, and that's your as the drill is going in whichever direction it's going, if it hits a rough spot in the wood, it'll just quickly do that. And people have actually broken their wrists and fingers doing this. So we want to make sure we always hold this. And you go to the bottom right there, get a good grip. There we go. Now, squeeze it. Oh, man, there we go. All right. Yeah, one more to get right there. And I'll hold that. There you go. All right. All righty. There you go, Tanisha. You can give yourself a round of applause. All righty, guys. So we got the prissy gardener over here now with Tanisha. We are scoring this trim so that we can get it off the wall. And scoring is really just putting a nice thin cut into that mold up there, to that caulk up there. So we want to score it, and then we're going to take a pry bar and we're going to gently pull that off. Now, these are typically connected with what's called a brad nailer. Brad nails are very thin nails that you shoot into the wood and into the drywall and to the stud. So whenever you're taking it off, if you want to do a clean job so that we're not damaging the drywall, we just want to score that, and we're going to score it all the way down, and then we're going to get a pry bar and come in and get that out. So now we're going to take the pry bars, and what we want to do is get this in between the wall and the trim. And what we're going to do, there you go, Tanisha. Oh, yours is already there. We're going to use a hammer if you can't already get it in there. And then you just push it up. There you go. No, you can go back. There you go. Just put it right down there.
And do what?
And just like that. And then you gently, just like that. There you go. And just come all the way across. Go, ladies. It's your birthday. There we go. Boom.
Oh,
there it is. Now, right here, this is why we always make sure we're wearing gloves, because when you pull these things off, you're going to have, now these aren't brad nails. This is what's called finishing nails. The finishing nails are a little thicker than the brad nails, but either of them can cut you, and you also have splinters. That's why we always use PPE, which I don't have on. But yeah, I'm not doing the work. Okay, so now we're just going to do the same thing on the side. There you go, just like that. Just like that.
Uh-oh.
All right, so what the ladies are doing now is taking up the quarter round, and we're using small pry bars because we want to use this quarter round. So just using the hammer to get in between the space and gently pull it out.
Yeah.
Because we have, once again, the brad nailers. And just put it right in that space. There you go. Now come up. Okay, you got it. Okay, so right there, just pull that one piece in the center, but don't pull it from the end because that'll tear it, break it. There we go.
It's like right in there in the middle.
There we go. All righty. We got the quarter round up, and we're going to pick these pieces up and put them in a safe place. Now we're going to come back and get this towel off the wall. So the first method we are using is the chisel. I have no idea what's back here. Excuse me, what they use on the wall. There are different types of material you can use back here. Some people just use drywall. There are different backer boards that you can get from like your local tile shop. So we won't know until we get this all off. You can just pull it right on off, Tanisha, if you can.
Okay.
Yep, the whole
pull
thing.
it off. Yep. Could it go all the way across? Yep. Woo! Yep. Oh.
All right. So that one piece came off. And yeah, so that, I'm not exactly sure what
Oh, look at the Snapple bottle in there.
Oh, Lord. See, whoever was building this house, just trifling. They were drinking some Snapple and left their bottle in here. Guys, this is the exhaust for a gas fireplace, and the gas line is actually under the bottom. Whenever you're working around something like gas, you want to be very careful. Because I knew how this was constructed from somebody else coming in and doing some work, I knew that we didn't have to worry about a gas line up here. But that's the exhaust for when your gas is on. It goes up and it goes out the house, and the gas line itself is actually right there. Bree, can you go around there and turn the gas on? The gas line that comes into this gas fireplace is actually underneath those logs. So we don't have to worry about anything up here, and that gas line is actually pushed back far enough that we don't have to worry about it. All right, so we are going to now go ahead and use the chisel. Now that we know what we have, this edge guard, this is a cement board, and these boards you also find when you're putting tubs and showers in. This cement board is waterproof, and Sluter, the Sluter system is the one that's the most popular, but it helps to make sure no water or anything gets back there. So what we're going to do now is just keep taking the towel off. I'm thinking that I may just go ahead and put drywall up there and not use any other board. Okay, we'll see. So we're going to continue to take this off, and now we know we can just use our hammer and chisel to get it off. Baby, you want to, no. So what we have to do is, this is just a pry bar. That's not going to work for that. Okay. We need to have an actual chisel. Like, Tanisha, do you still have the chisel?
Okay.
There we go. So the chisel is actually designed to take the impact of a hammer. Oh. So we'll let Bree try now, Tanisha?
Oh.
Look, she's like, no, Tanisha can do it.
Tanisha can do it.
There you go. Yeah, hit it a little harder. There you go. Hit it like that day you were angry with me and you were ready to jump out of a moving car. Go ahead. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. There you go. All the way down. So we're actually, this is actually the best case scenario. We are just taking the whole thing off and we're going to remove that backer board. Anyway, you can just take it down some more.
Or maybe get it from the side, because
you right where you are. You can just now take your hammer, and if you want to, right here, because we're going up against wood, we'll just take our hammer, just like that. Remember that day you were upset with me and you ready to jump out the car? Put some anger. There going the husband.
See,
All right, guys. So we had a nice break here. This all came up in one piece. Then we're going to have to break it up to put it in the bag. But it had a piece of cement board in here also. Good thing is that everything came up in one piece. This was the best case scenario. So this is what's called our subflooring. This is what you walk on when your house is first built. This is your subflooring that's along those beams that are also 16 inches apart on center. Alrighty, so now we're just going to take this up, and we have the screws in here that was holding it down. We have the screws that was holding the subfloor, and we don't have to deal with all that mortar or that thin set that's back there. So now all we have to do is get our screws out. We're going to clean up the area, and we may have to do a little sanding to get everything off the subfloor, and then we're just going to put our towel down, and we're going to see how it looks. All right, we are doing a test here to see what this is going to look like. We have to be very careful. The longer piece of towel is, the weaker that centerpiece is, so it'll break. Oh man, that looks good. Mm-hmm. Okay, so what we want to do is push it back against the floor to see the lip.
How thick it is?
Right there. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh wow, it just fits right in there. Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's why I say we're going to save our quarter round. So we're going to still put it on the floor. But yeah, so that looks good. It's actually coming right flush now.
So
I'm sorry, just a second, sweetie. It is we have to put our mortar under here. So when we put our mortar or our thin set, that's going to raise it up just a little bit. So we're going to put mortar on the floor, and we're going to do what's called back buttering. We're going to put mortar on the floor with a special notch trowel, and then we're going to back butter this. And that's going to maybe 1/8 of an inch is going to raise it, so it may be flush with the floor, but we will still have our quarter round. All right, what's the question, babe?
This little bit that's here, how are you going to cut the tile to fill that in?
We're not. What we're going to do is we're going to have to take these pieces right here of the floor, and we're going to put a new floorboards there. We're going to cut it to match
Oh,
that length.
okay. Do you need to measure this so you know how much while
No,
it's down?
when we right before we put it down, we're going to take these pieces of floor up from here all the way over to where Tanisha is,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to put we're just going to cut it the length that we need. Alrighty, so we know we see it fish flush there, and it looks good. Now what we're going to do is put some drywall right here. So I had to go and get me a piece of drywall. So we're going to now replace this with some drywall. Be right back. This fireplace was put in here in a way that it is protruding from the 2x4. See, that's not flush. Right here, it's not flush. So this wall right here was actually bumped out. It was a bow in the drywall because whoever put the fireplace in didn't take time to make sure that the fireplace is flush with the 2x4. So this created a problem. We had to remove the drywall and put a thinner layer of wood in there to serve as a backing in order to put the mortar on. It's sad, but when people are building houses, sometimes they will cut corners. It's clear that this fireplace was too big for this space, but they made it fit. And I guess just hoping that nobody would move into this house and decide to take that tile off. But this is what you get when you get sloppy work. So now DIY Coach Al had to cut all of this out. We're gonna have to come over and cut this out, and we're gonna put a thinner layer of board in here to serve as the primary backer board for our tile. Sad, but hey, we work around it. Hey there, everybody. So some of the video that I shot, I didn't shoot everything all in one day. It was shot out of sequence. So forgive me if some of it seems to be jumping around a little bit. I did the best job I could of making everything sequential. But there is a clip that you're looking at now. Either you're looking at it now or as I'm talking, or it'll come up later. You see Tanisha, we're on the deck and we're cutting the tile. Remember, the tile was 2 feet by 4 feet. They're very large pieces. And I use three things to cut the tile. I use, this is a tile saw. Ryobi makes it, Ridgid makes it. I know Milwaukee has one. Those 3 tools are made by the same company. So it's common to see common to see similar tools or tools that look similar on different platforms because some tools are actually made by the same parent organization. This tile saw is really, I just can't say enough about how good this was. You can also use a table saw version of it or tabletop version of it, which I did use to cut some of the smaller pieces. You can also use an angle grinder or a cutoff tool to cut tile. And I did actually use a cutoff tool to cut the square where I put the socket in there. But what you are looking at or what you were looking at was myself and Tanisha cutting the tile with this tile saw. This actually has a water bottle connected to it because you always want to keep that blade wet so that it doesn't warp from the heat, and it also helps with not breaking the tile. This tool actually has a water bottle connected to it, or if you're cutting a lot of tile, there's actually a connection to this that you can just attach to your hose, and it'll have a constant flow. The setback with the water bottle when you insert it in is that eventually it could run out of water. It'll still cut, you just don't have that blade getting wet. And as I said, I think in one section of the video, you always want to make sure you have a tile blade in here. This blade is it's a diamond blade. It's specifically to cut tile. So what you were watching or what you may be watching is Tanisha cutting, or one of us cutting the tile actually using this towel cutting blade. The other thing that you're going to see, because I had to move ahead a little bit, you're going to actually see us putting up the mortar on the wall, and you're going to see that we've actually already laid a couple pieces of the tile. Now, when we were cutting the tile, we were cutting out this part for the fireplace, but to make sure we cut it at an angle. So you'll see us Now, at some point, you'll see us actually putting the mortar, also called thin set, on the wall. And I think you'll see it, both myself and Tanisha doing that. And then at some point, you'll see Tanisha doing the back buttering. So I just want to make sure we have this video as a clarification for why you don't see us doing the individual pieces. Unfortunately, I left the camera running and it just shot the entire thing. So you'll see it running in fast motion. I just didn't want to go back and have to dice all of that up, but hopefully this will clarify it. Hey everybody, so we have gotten this project done. What do y'all think? Yeah, I think she looks about right. We have gotten the project done. I've done all my trimming, all the borders and everything. You see it up there. And instead of going with the transition piece on the fireplace, I decided to just use the same grout that's in the lines. I decided to just go ahead and use that grout on the floor. Got a little bit of some wood patch that I have to do around there where I did when I took up the transition piece, there were little holes in there. But I'm just going to go ahead and throw some wood patch in there, get that done. The last thing I have to do is put that television up. Now, what I'm using is a bit specifically designed for tiles. You cannot use a regular drill bit to go through tile. All you'll do is burn it out. But this bit is especially designed to go through tile. So make sure if you have a drill that's not a dedicated drill, this is what's called a hammer drill. You see that piece right there? That's a hammer. A hammer drill is designed to, how do I say it? It's like an impact wrench when you're meeting resistance in something that you're drilling in. It will hammer, it will hit it to both drill and drive at the same time. If you do that with tile, you will definitely crack that tile. So what we want to do is make sure this is on our drill setting. Right there where that arrow is, we are on our drill setting. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and put the holes in the wall. I've already measured exactly where I need for these holes to go. So I'm going to go ahead and just drill these holes, and then we're going to get that TV up. Be right back. Hey guys, so you saw me, this is a situation where I say, do as I do, not as I say. You saw me drilling that's porcelain tile. I should have had a mask on. So that's one thing. Let me say you should do that. Should also have your skin covered. I've just been doing this for so long, I'm just so used to it. But please do as I say, not as I do. The other thing is that you saw me dip the tip of the drill into that water. Whenever you're cutting porcelain, ceramic, the blade gets really hot. It's going to make the product, the porcelain, the ceramic hot. So you always want to make sure your blade is cooled down. That's why a wet saw has that blade going through the water as it's going through the material. So I have actually finished that part. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do is actually put this bracket up. So I switched out from my regular drill. Now this is an impact driver, but I'm going to just use this very gently. Or you can also use a ratchet for the same thing. Just make sure your ratchet head matches that. This is a 5/16. So now I'm going to actually, and these are very clean cut holes in here. I'm going to go ahead and put my bracket up. Now what I did before I put the towel up, I cut out a section of the drywall and I put some 1/2 inch thick plywood back there. That way I put it maybe this entire area right here. That way, if I wanted to take the TV down and move it over, I didn't have to worry about drilling directly into studs. And it's actually a good thing to do if you know you're going to put a flat screen TV on your wall. You need to make sure that the screws are going into studs. If you want to have a larger area to play with, then you can just do what I did. It's 1/2 inch, so it's the same diameter of the drywall. So I just cut a section out and just put that wood back there. So I knew that I had a big area to play with over here in terms of getting this up. So now it's going to put this up, and we already have our holes drilled. So let's see. Forgive my back, guys. Get this on here. Right here. That's one. And then get our other screw in here. Gonna tilt that way. Then come in. Put that there. Now, I'm not putting this on here too hard right now because I don't want to crack my towel. I just want to get it on right now. Then what I'm going to do is come back and use my ratchet to get that last bit screwed in. You always want to make sure you've done this kind of work to get your towel up. One mistake will just undo everything. So we don't want to crack it. Alrighty. So I'm going to now just get my ratchet. As a matter of fact, I think I can just go ahead and gently do this. Once again, don't do as I do, do as I say. Because I'm so used to working with this, I know how to just slightly pull that trigger to get it in there. And I'm going to make sure that it's on here tight. There we go. We are good. The other thing I wanted to say is the bit that I use to drill through that porcelain, it's not the best bit. The best bit is a circular diamond bit. It has little pieces. I don't know if it's real diamond or not, but it has a little pieces of diamond that do a much better job of drilling into ceramic and porcelain. When you get a blade for your wet saw, you're almost always going to have a diamond blade on there. It just cuts so much better. You know what cuts even better than that, guys? Water. There are water, I don't know what you call it, water cutters. The stream of water comes out so fast that it will cut through tile and steel like it's butter. I'm afraid to get one of those. First of all, they're very expensive. Secondly, all you have to do is hit your finger or something and it will literally slice through your finger. So let's just kind of stay with the diamond bits and things like that for now, okay? All right, so we got our bracket up here. And now we are going to put our television up here. And let's see, come out just like that. That's it. These TVs are so light these days that the one that I have on the other side of this wall, and maybe I'll do a video when I'm putting that towel up, but the TVs are so much lighter than they used to be. The one I have on the other side of the wall is really heavy. So we are good here. And let's see if I can push this back. There we go. So we have it flush, not exactly flush, against the wall. I have to come in and put the bottom brackets on there. So there we go. We are finished with this project. What do you guys think? We're finished with it. All right, so I did have to do a little bit manipulating that electrical box. So let's just make sure it's working. Let's see. It's got it plugged in. Now we just need to see if she's coming on. as if our remote control is working. I think. Okay. Oh, yeah, there it is. It is working. So since the TV has been unplugged for so long, it has to cycle through to get reconnected. Oh, there we go. Guys, we have a new wall. And once again, just looking at the picture of the old wall, I think this has taken us from maybe 1999 into 2025. Now all there is to do is just sit back and watch TV and enjoy this beautiful project that you just did. Hey, you guys know what I love to tell you. First of all, I love you. Don't have to know you in order to be madly in love with you. Second thing I want to say is on purpose today, if you can, reach down to help pick somebody else up. I give you my word as a retired pastor and forever believer that there is no feeling in life greater than the feeling of helping somebody who can't help you in return. Third thing, guys, I want to say is always reject hate. Never subscribe to a platform that espouses hate as a way of getting what you want. Jesus said, by this one thing will all men know that you are my disciples when you have love one towards the other. You guys be blessed. Going to throw a video up over here, maybe some wainscoting or, maybe a video on some other stuff I did, including putting in that bidet. We'll see. You guys take care. Love you.